So know that you can reach out to people and bring things out that you think many people will miss. And if you do your interview correctly, you'll reveal something about this person.
Neil Young is a Canadian-American musician, film director, songwriter, film score composer, screenwriter, activist, record producer, and film producer. During his many years in the music industry, Neil Young has won several Grammys and Juno Awards. He was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, once as a solo artist and also as a member of Buffalo Springfield. In 2000, Rolling Stone named Young number 34 on their list of the 100 greatest musical artists. According to Acclaimed Music, he's the 7th most celebrated artist in popular music history. 21 of his albums and singles have been certified gold and platinum in the U.S. by RIAA certification. He was awarded the Order of Manitoba in 2006 and was made an Officer of the Order of Canada in 2009.
Because one side of my body was affected by polio. On a physical side, I don't play very much with my left hand.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Neil Percival Young, but is also known as Godfather of Grunge, Don Grungio, Bernard Shaky. He was born November 12, 1945 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, making him 76 at the time of this production. He stands 5 feet 11 inches or 1.82 meters tall. Old Black is the nickname given to Neil Young's primary electric guitar. Most of Young's electric guitar work has been recorded using this instrument, although he has used a variety of different instruments. This Les Paul has remained ubiquitous and an obvious favorite. His favorite albums of his own are Trans, Everybody's Rockin', and Tonight's the Night, in that order. In February 2020, Young wrote an open letter to President Trump calling him a disgrace to my country. On August 4th, 2020, Young filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against Trump's re-election campaign for the use of his music at campaign rallies. Young owns a restored SD Reed organ, serial number 167272, dating from 1885, which he frequently plays in concert. In 2022, he withdrew his music from Spotify as a protest at the streaming platform allowing podcaster Joe Rogan to spread conspiracy theories about the coronavirus vaccine. Shortly after, Joni Mitchell joined him in solidarity. Young owns a glass harmonica, which he played in the recording of I Do on his 2019 album, Colorado. Neil Young is an outspoken environmentalist, and he's especially passionate about the welfare of small farmers. He's also a supporter of electric vehicles, and he's become heavily involved in education for children with disabilities. Neil Young married his first wife, Susan Evasido, in 1968. The marriage lasted for 2 years before she filed for divorce. For the next 5 years, Young was in a relationship with actress Carrie Snodgrass. During their relationship, they had one child together. In 1978, Young married Peggy Young, whom he met while she was working as a waitress at a diner near his ranch. In 2014, Peggy and Neil were divorced after 36 years of marriage. Not long afterward, Neil Young met actress Daryl Hannah and married her 4 years later.
So I'm doing this because I think I can use my craft to do things. I can share a message. I can get awareness out there.
He was born to Scott Alexander Young and Edna Blow Ragland Young in Toronto. He spent most of his childhood growing up in Canada and contracted polio in 1952. At the age of 12, he went to live with his mother after she separated from Young's father. During the mid-1950s, Neil Young became infatuated with rock and roll after listening to Roy Orbison, Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and many others. Young's early experiences with music involved playing several stringed instruments, including the ukulele and banjo. Neil Young formed his first band, the Jades, while in high school. He then became so involved in the music scene that he dropped out of school to pursue a full-time career as a musician, eventually joining a stable instrumental rock band called the Squires. After leaving the Squires, Young started writing songs for the first time, penning Sugar Mountain and many other folk hits. He also wrote Flying on the Ground is Wrong by the Guess Who, achieving mainstream success as a songwriter for the first time. He then joined the band the Mina Birds, a band fronted by Rick James. After the group disbanded, Young and Bruce Palmer traveled to Los Angeles to seek new opportunities. After reaching Los Angeles, Young and Palmer met up with several other musicians to found the band Buffalo Springfield. The short-lived band only stayed together for 2 years, although they managed to release 3 albums during this period. The group was a critical success, and their folk-infused psychedelic rock made them very popular during the time of the peace movement. As a solo artist, Neil Young released his first self-titled album in 1969. Although the record didn't receive the best reviews, he fared better after helping to form the band Crazy Horse and collaborating with them on his second solo album, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. For his third studio album, After the Gold Rush, Young dismissed Crazy Horse and collaborated with other musicians instead. During his career, Neil has also acted in several documentaries as well as concert films. In 2017, Neil released the song Children of Destiny, and the artist has more than 40 studio albums to date. In 2020, Neil Young announced that he'd soon release his long-lost album, Harvest.
Kids in the schoolyard for a year or so. That was something that, and I was never into sports because I wasn't that well coordinated, and I still have trouble walking in a straight line.
After a long career spanning many decades and countless album releases, Neil Young has emerged as one of the most popular and financially successful musicians of all time. The vast majority of his net worth is a result of his record sales, and it's estimated that Young has sold over 75 million records over the years. In January 2021, Neil Young revealed that he had sold a 50% stake in his music catalog for $150 million. He sold half the copyright and income to roughly 1,120 songs to an investment firm called Hipgnosis. Young also helped create Pono, an online music download and streaming service that's promised to replicate high-quality analog recordings straight from the studio. In 2017, Pono was forced to shut down after its operating company, Omniphone, was bought out by Apple. He has a net worth of $200 million. In 1970, Neil Young purchased Broken Arrow Ranch, a 1,000-acre property in La Honda, California, for $350,000 cash. He subsequently expanded the property by buying thousands of additional acres. In November 2015, Neil listed his longtime home in Hawaii for $24.5 million. The 3,000-square-foot main house of 1920s vintage is a glimpse into old Hawaii life, with its rooms open to verandas that capture ocean breezes drifting through the 2-story, 5-bedroom, 4-bath house. There are also 2 guest cottages, 2 greenhouses, a shaded terrace, and a swimming pool with a pool house. He eventually sold the property in 2018 for $20 million. In 2016, Neil purchased a home in Malibu, California from his girlfriend, Daryl Hannah, for $3.6 million. Daryl purchased the 17.6-acre property in 2001 for $1.32 million. At one point, she'd attempted to sell it for as much as $5 million. In November 2018, the house was destroyed in the Woolsey fire. Neil Young owns the following cars: a 1953 Buick Roadmaster Skylark convertible, a 1941 Chrysler Series 28 Windsor Highlander Coupe, a 1948 Buick Roadmaster, a 1959 Lincoln Continental, a 1949 Cadillac,